Hello once again, everybody. I am PeDeeGloo, and I'm bringing you part 8. Last time on part 7, I beat the sucky gym leader, Sharon. He sucks because PeDeeGloo beat him. Now that is embarrassing. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, I went to the Pokemon Center. I'm all healed up and good. Looking good, looking all good. Hey girl, what you doing right there? Oh, she knows my name. Dude, should I ask her out? You guys, you think I should? This is a special moment. No. There's better ones out there. There's more fish in the sea. Alright, gonna look out. Dun dun dun. Today's topic: scary stories and maybe games. I'm just going to tell a story that I thought was scary at the time. I'm not so sure if you guys are going to think it's scary, but when I was like more little, I thought that I thought it was more scary. I don't know what it's called, but I learned it at church camp. So our church camp was like, it's sort of like on an island, you know, got a bridge going to it. So this church camp I went to, they had like the boys' cabins or whatever. They had them off into the distance in the woods, and the girls' cabin was like a nice like white mansion sitting there in the nice little Great Plains, or no, not the Great Plains, just like amazing green grass-filled plain. They got, smells all naturey and everything. We're down in the dark and scary woods. Alright, so we're down there in the what do they call them? They call them dorm dads. I don't know. So he's there, and he tells us a scary story before bed. I don't remember what he called it, but here's the scary story. So there was two kids, two kids in the boys' dorm. As soon as the dorm dad left the room to go talk to the supervisor, those two kids got up out of their beds, went off. At our camp, we have golf carts. So they went off into the distance by the girls' dorms, passed it, found the golf cart, took it. And where we are, there's a way to drive to the right to go to the bridge, and the way to the left, I've never been down there. It looks so creepy. Like, scary creepy. So the two kids drove the golf cart. They drove it off to the left. They started to go over there. It was a really dark and winding path that kept on going for what seemed like more than an hour. Eventually, they found this old, rickety wooden house. So they drove up to it. They parked the golf cart about a couple feet away. They started walking up toward it. As they looked up, they saw dead animals. Squirrels, possum, you name it. Hanging from a ceiling by, like, wire. And as the kids looked closely, their fingernails were missing. So they started to get scared. But the other kid, he wasn't that scared. He wanted to see what was going on. So like an idiot, he walked in. He walked into the house. He went through the window. They walked in. The other kid, what was he going to do? He couldn't leave him there, and he wasn't going to wait outside. So he went along with him. They started to walk through a really creepy old house. Looked like it was made in like the 50s, 1950s. Walking through there, he got spiderweb couches, old chairs, not even any TV, but he did manage to find electricity, like just normal lights, like little lights that you pull the strings with. You know, the little metal strings, the tiny little lights, just like a light bulb, and you pull the string. They found those, so the kid turned it on. And as soon as they turned it on, they heard this. As they heard that, it sounded like footsteps. They started to get scared. Then they tried to back up to the window to run out of the house, but they couldn't escape. They were stuck. They were stuck in the house as the footsteps were approaching. Then out through the doorway from the hallway, an old man wearing glasses, suspenders, and whatever, you name it. He was sitting there, just standing in the doorway. But as the kids looked closer, his shoulder was missing. But his arm was still hanging there. Like, you just couldn't see his shoulder. The shoulder was just invisible. But it was still there. You could still touch it. the kids started to get scared. Then as soon as then, the old man knocked them out. Then when they woke up, wait, but before they got knocked out, they saw fingernails littering the floor and tables everywhere. He had a collection and everything. They started to panic. Then that's when he came, knocked them out, like I said. Then they woke up. They were tied to some chairs, in what seemed like the kitchen. They were tied up to some chairs with their hands tied up, but they're like sticking out, like their hands were. One of the kids, they're both boys, so, because they came out of the boys' dorm. Both of the kids, they looked at their fingernails. One kid still had his fingernails. He's getting worried. But the other kid, his fingernails were gone. Blood was dripping. And his toenails and fingernails were gone. He was sitting there wailing and crying in pain. Blood dripping down everywhere. The other kid started to panic as the old man came through the door with some utensils that could pull out fingernails. He could still see his invisible shoulder. He asked him, "How is that possible? What's up with your shoulder and why are you doing this to us?" The old man simply shrugged. He said, "It's what I do." He started to get panicked. He started to panic. The old man didn't say anything more. He just gave them both angry, nasty looks. Snorted, took out his tools, grabbed the kid's hand, almost just about to pull off his fingernails with the utensils. But then burst open the door through the kitchen. The dorm dad came in with a gun. He told the old man to stick his hands up in the air and that he had a gun and that he already called the police. And then he said that he knew who he was. He didn't give up. He clipped off the kid's fingernail, all. Started to bleed everywhere. The dorm dad shot him in the leg, right in the knee about. It just phased through him. Just that part was invisible. But still, it was there. The dorm dad kept on shooting him and shooting and shooting and shooting. Did nothing. He started to panic, knowing that he couldn't save the kids' lives and that he was next. And then burst out, the police came. 2 young police officers around the age of 20. Started to shoot at the old man. All that it did was just phase on through. That's all that happened. It just phased right through him. Made invisible spots on him. They started to panic. But as they kept on shooting him, one shot him in the eye. Phased right through. Invisible right there. The kid started to panic as he pulled out his utensil, plucked the other kid's fingernail, wailing in pain. Finally, they shot him. They just kept on shooting him until what it seemed like to slow him down. Then the old man grunted. Then he pulled out a gun. He pulled off a gun from his kitchen table. Shot one of the police officers, killed him, shot him right in the forehead. He grunted, snorted, started getting angry, and tackled them out of the way, ran out the house, took his old automobile, and drove away. The legend says that he drove away into Oklahoma. I don't live in Oklahoma, just so you know. It's probably what you guys are wondering. My camp's not in Oklahoma. But he drove off into Oklahoma. And they say that he's still wandering the streets, in the forest and woods, still to this day. Well, thank you, everybody. That was PeDeeGloo. That was PeDeeGloo's Scary Stories. Let me know if you want to hear another one. That was sort of like a Halloween special, but I was a little wait for Halloween. So be sure to check out Tortoise619 and Gaming Lodge. I'll leave their names in the description. Thank you so very much for watching. I have to save it. Thank you all. Make sure to rate, subscribe, comment. Tell me what I need to improve on. Tell me what I'm doing good. Thank you all for watching. And PeDeeGloo out.